From the archive, a question. Every Bronze Age script yielded its meaning, except this one. A single clay disc, 4,000 years old, still refuses to speak. Crete, 1908. On a sun-baked hillside above the southern coast, Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier is excavating the ruins of a Minoan palace called Phaistos. In a basement room, buried in a layer of ash and broken pottery, his workers uncover something no one had ever seen before: a perfectly preserved disc of fired clay. It is about 15 centimeters across, small enough to hold in one hand. Both faces are covered edge to edge with tiny stamped pictures, curling inward in a tight spiral. Scholars count them carefully. 241 symbols in total, drawn from just 45 distinct signs. Heads, walking figures, plants, tools, a helmet crowned with feathers. Each symbol was not carved but pressed, stamped into wet clay with a set of tiny punches. This may be the oldest known example of movable type on Earth, thousands of years ahead of its time. From the surrounding pottery and the palace layers, archaeologists dated the disc to roughly 1,700 years before the Common Era, the height of Minoan Crete. But here the trouble begins. Bring the disc beside every other script of its age, and it matches nothing. Not one of its 45 signs appears anywhere else in the ancient world. So consider where that leaves us. A writing system with no ancestors, no descendants, and only one surviving page. To read it, we would need a second example, and after more than a century, none has ever been found. To understand why this matters, look at the scripts around it. The Minoans wrote in two systems archaeologists label Linear A and Linear B. In the 1950s, an English architect named Michael Ventris cracked Linear B. Against all expectation, it turned out to record an early form of Greek. A lost script had finally spoken. Its older cousin, Linear A, still resists. And the Phaistos disc sits further out still, stranger, lonelier, older in style than either, and utterly unrelated to both. For over 100 years, the disc has drawn everyone who loves a puzzle. Linguists, priests, code breakers, amateurs writing letters by candlelight, each certain they had found the key. And every single reading has collapsed. One scholar declares it a prayer to a goddess, another a battle report, a third a calendar, a fourth insists it is a hymn. None can be tested, none can be proven. The core problem is brutal in its simplicity. With only 241 symbols and no second text, there is not enough material to test any theory against. Even the basics stay out of reach. Is each sign a whole word or a single syllable? Was the disc meant to be read aloud, pressed as a stamp, or simply buried as a sacred offering? There is even a shadow over the disc itself. Because it is unique, a handful of researchers have wondered aloud whether it could be a clever forgery. Most experts disagree, but the whisper never quite fades. Then, into this century-old deadlock, comes a new kind of investigator. Not a linguist with a magnifying glass, but a machine. In the years around 2025, teams turned artificial intelligence loose on the disc, mapping how often each sign appears and where it clusters along the spiral. The patterns are tantalizing. Certain signs cluster at the start of each group, hinting the script may be syllabic and may run from the outer edge inward toward the center. And yet, for all their power, the machines hit the same wall as every scholar before them. Patterns are not meaning. With no second text to check against, the disc still will not translate. So here we stand, the oldest computers of the human mind and the newest computers of the machine, both defeated by a disc you could cover with one hand. What could it possibly be hiding? Today, the disc rests behind glass in the Heraklion Archaeological Museum on Crete, one of the most famous objects in all of archaeology, and one of the least understood. Whoever pressed those 45 signs into wet clay knew exactly what they meant. It may have been a prayer, a record, a story, something they thought worth setting down forever. That meaning died with the Minoan world. And so the disc waits, patient, complete, and silent, holding a message we may never learn to hear. Every Bronze Age script eventually yielded its meaning, except this one. 4,000 years on, the Phaistos disc remains the page no one can turn. The archive stays open, and this page stays sealed. Comment your theory below. What do you think the disc says?